too naughty or ought to sing, dance, and clap their hands. Well, just because the record has a groove, don't make it in the groove. But you can tell right away, Dr. A, when the people start to move. They can feel it all over. They can feel it all over. People. They can feel it all over. They can feel it all over. People. Music knows it is and always will be one of the things that life just won't quit. But here's some of music's pioneers that time will not allow us to forget now. But as they say, Miller, Timo, and the King also do. And with a voice like Gallup ringing out, there's no way the band can lose. You can feel it all over. You can feel it all over, people. You can feel it all over. You can feel it all over, people. You can feel it all over. You can feel it all over, people. You can feel it all over. You can feel it all over, people. You can feel it all over. You can feel it all over, people. You can feel it all over. You can feel it all over, people. You can feel it all over. You can feel it all over, people. You can feel it all over. I can feel it all over, my people. You can feel it all over. Come on, let's feel it all over, people. You can feel it all over. Everybody all over, people. Go! I wanna look.
Well, good morning, family. Yours truly in the building, Joe Dupree from 100 BLK, the Black Station, along with my brother from another mother. You know him from the online open lines at WBLS 1075 in New York City, and keeping it real with Reverend Al Sharpton. Brother Fatim, it is hashtag Truth Be Told. It is the first day of summer. It is the 21st of June, 7 minutes past the hour. We see a lot of folks jumping into the chat. Good morning to you also. Welcome.
So
good morning, my brother.
I'm good. Good morning. And we're not going to take me, I'm not going to do it right now, but when our guests come on, you ain't going to take me out the picture. I just got to go pull something off the printer. It did print. That's what my hang up was this morning, because I done been out in the street already. I've been out.
Okay, you know, been rolling through South Carolina streets.
Yeah, man, I've been rolling through the streets. I got a call yesterday, possibly to host a event. They was trying to get Method Man and a couple of Wu-Tang to work with the congressman out there that is running in a very competitive campaign out there, brother. And we'll see. We got a lot of traveling to do this month. Headed, as you continue to say, we headed down to New Orleans for the Essence Music Festival 30th anniversary. Then when I get back, then I take 2 days and then headed to Baltimore for my cousin's family reunion.
Okay.
On my cousin's father's side. So I'm just going to hang out. So if I don't want to stay long at the park or whatever, I'm not obligated, I just going down there just to get away and stuff like that. But it's good to be here. How's the weather there? Because I know Texas been getting slammed.
Well, we got a little rain, but we've been off and on showers and really actually humid, hot weather, to be honest with you, in Louisiana. So it's so strange because we're only about 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours from Houston, and maybe 4 hours from Galveston. And the Corpus Christi area and the Galveston area, and really that third coast, as we call it, that Texas coast, has been catching a lot from Alberto. And they're talking about another storm is getting ready to come right after it. But once again, it's going to take the same path and probably will not affect most of the coastline of the United States, at least the Gulf Coast. Unfortunately, Corpus Christi did get hit pretty hard. So, we tell people yesterday's show was a prime example. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And yesterday's show was off the chain. How can you top that? Well, on the first day of summer, we're about to bring you another dynamic show again today. So tell a friend to tell a friend. We are broadcasting live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and on Instagram Live. And good morning to everybody who's in the chat. Good morning to Dre, to Michael, to Mashawn, to KC, to folks that are logging in. I see Atlanta's jumping on. I see Chicago. Detroit just jumped on. I also see Los Angeles jumping on. Good morning to everybody. Tennessee, my home state, Nashville and Memphis, both just jumped on. So everybody who's logging in, listen, good morning, good morning. And to our friends that are worldwide, I see France is on. I see Belgium's on, England's on. We just got Amsterdam just jumped on. So good morning or good evening or whatever time it is where you are at. I know it's 11 minutes after something. It's 11 minutes after something. So good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, or however it may go, wherever part of the world you in. We just got Okinawa, Japan jumped on. Konnichiwa. Let's get it. Let's go.
Got a quick question for the folks out there. Unless, Joe, you have something to jump on real quick. Okay. So we did this the other day, and I'm doing it early. I'm doing it early today because we have a guest that's coming on in the next 20 minutes. And I'm glad he reached out to me yesterday because I spoken with him when we was talking about wearing orange for National, Gun Violence Awareness Day. And we'll get into that later. But I remember 9/11. I was in New York City. I was working on Fifth Avenue. And I used to work in a Trade Center. I worked in One World Trade Center. And I cannot tell you what I would have done if I worked in the World Trade Center. I just can't tell you. I knew these buildings swayed, but I never thought they would fall. So I'm a helpful person. So I can't tell you if I would have came out these buildings or would have stayed in the buildings. I think it would have been a phone call to the house. That weekend, me and Hanifa had a blowout. I hate to say it. So doesn't matter if we had an argument or disagreement or whatever. When it happened, the first thing I did is I called her. She picked it right up. This is what we do. I was like, the kids are secure at school. We don't know what we're facing that day. Right. We don't know. We under attack. Now we hear in Washington's under attack. We hear the plane in Philly. We hear that they scramble. And honestly, New York, I'll be honest with you, they did not scramble the jets the way they supposed to scramble the jets, but they wouldn't have been able to do anything anyway. I don't know if I would have stayed in that building to help people if I would have came out. I was working for JP Morgan Chase. My radio station called me and asked me, could I go down to the World Trade and cover? I was going down to cover. My job wouldn't let me go because they knew I worked radio part-time. They wouldn't let me go because we were short-staffed. So I knew I was going to camp. Anybody know New York City? Century 21 is across the street from the World Trade Center. So I was going to camp out in Century 21 because they got an entrance on this side and you can go through the back entrance. I didn't go. And of course, I would have been caught up in all that smoke and all that. And, I know colleagues that have had cancer from that. Reason why I brought up 9/11, the week after, Tom Joyner was our morning guy. He's syndicated, but Tom Joyner was our morning guy at Kiss FM, 98.7 Kiss FM in New York. He was on vacation. Our general manager asked him not to say come back off vacation, but at least call in to the show because this is a big moment. Tom Joyner refused to do that. That's fine. I'm not throwing him under the bus. I love Tom Joyner. I love what he's done. Tom Joyner is priceless.
Right.
What he's done into
Black radio nostalgia.
Exactly.
Radio nostalgia.
Yeah. My general manager at the time, Vice President Judy Ellis, she spoke with Bob Slade, who was our news director, and then she called me because I was on the road. She said, Fatim, can you produce a morning show as a week later to, deal with, because we were going to have a moment of silence. It was a big thing. I said, yeah, I can. She said, we're doing it. 6 o'clock comes, ABC is not connected. Remember, we're going through ABC Network. We're not connected to Tom Joyner. They call in a few minutes early. There's no connection. I called the general manager. She said, 6 o'clock, you hit the button, you bypass them. We're going live in New York. Ain't no way in hell we're doing a syndicated morning show a week later with so many people dying.
Right.
We go. What Tom Joyner and ABC Networks did was a smart thing. They plugged into our morning show.
Wow.
Time to time. So they didn't let us do the whole show, but they plugged in. This is what New York is doing at that time. My program director, Toya Beasley, she's over at our competitor state, well, one of our sister station competitor at the 94.7 block, but she was our program director at KISS at the time. So we played inspirational music. So my question to you all, what is your, June is, of course, we know is Black Music Month. What is your go-to gospel/inspirational song? Gospel or inspiration, because inspirational doesn't necessarily have to be gospel. But what is your gospel or inspirational song that you go to help you through troubled times or times when things are tough?
I got two.
And put that in the chat. We want those before we get to our guests, and we're not going to disrespect our guests. When we get to our guests, we are turn the page for that. If we got to come back to this today or Monday or whatever, we still be in June. So, but what is your go-to? You can put 1 or 2 we don't need a whole list, but what is your go-to songs that helps you through a tough moment that you feel that you need to play? Right. Joe, what is yours?
That you need to hear from the Lord. I actually have.
But I have to be the Lord. Remember, inspirational is not always gospel. And inspirational doesn't have to be a godly. I Can Fly is an inspirational song. It has nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? So,
something that elevates your mindset, that takes
you and picks your spirit up.
Takes you from the doom and the gloom and puts you in a place where you say, you know what, I can do this. Man, I got 3 of them, and it's all by the same artist. And too many times I got a lot of love for K.A. Psy, but I really love this Kappa here. This Kappa, me and this Kappa, we get along real well. So let me see which one I want to play. This is the one. This is the one that does it for me. This is the one that does it for me. This one right here. This one right here. This one right here. Yeah. Let me see. Can I get it all? Can I get it? Yeah, here you go.
He saw the best in me when everyone else around me could only see the worst in me.
That's mine right there.
I'm gonna text you mine. I want you to play mine next.
One more time. I said he saw the best in me.
I have a lot.
When everyone else around me could only see the worst in me. I wish I had a witness tonight. All I need is one. Hey, he saw the best in me.
Wait for that text, brother.
When everyone else around me,
this might be a good place for somebody to put your hands up. This might be on the first day of summer.
Does anybody have that
a very good place
when folk
for you to put your hands up? I just don't know about you.
What did he see?
It's one day before my birthday, and if you knew how close I got to that this birthday, this might be a very good place to put your hands up. I got you right now.
Can I tell y'all one more thing? I just need to tell you one more thing. Listen to this. See, he's mine, and I am his. It doesn't matter what I did. He he only sees me for who I am. Does anybody know that tonight? Oh, see, he is mine and I am his. Said it doesn't matter what I did. See, he only sees me for who I am. Help me sing it, yeah, girl. Said that he is mine. He's mine. I'm his. Said it doesn't matter what I did. He only sees me for who I am.
Got mine, Joe?
I got it. Go ahead. Tell me about yours, brother Fatine.
All right, so I want to go to the chat. So good morning to everybody, as Joe said in the chat. To everybody. Jewel Wall says Marvin Sapp, never would have made it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put that on my Facebook page. I ran into Marvin Sapp. I was at the station and he came by and I got a chance. I've been with Marvin Sapp a couple of times, but we took a picture one time. KC says
that's my brother.
Yeah.
That's my brother.
KC said he has his hands on me by Marvin Sapp. She says, I think.
It is.
Sister Dre says, more than I can bear, God's property.
Oh, that's good.
Keep your head to the sky, earth, wind, and fire.
Come on now.
The best in me, Marvin Sapp.
Come on now.
Stan, Donnie McKirkland.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Sounds of blackness. Blackness never would have made it, Marvin Sapp.
Come on now.
Casey, I listen to I'll always be thankful when I'm not feeling so thankful.
I have
a lot. You got mine?
Yeah, I got you. You ready for me?
Ready. Let's go. Yeah.
All right. So this is one of Fatime's, and I'm gonna play another one of mine, but this is one of Fatime's. Woo! I used to close out my radio show with this song.
Yeah, when we was at Kiss, BLS closed out their shows like this.
I would close out when I first got in radio. This is how I would close out every radio show I would do.
Father,
come on now.
Help your children and don't let them fall by the side of the road.
This is one day before my birthday. I'm feeling this one, brother Fatime. I'm feeling this one.
I got another
one another.
I'm gonna play my next one, and it's gonna mess up both heads.
And this is gonna take us into our guest kind of good. Okay, trust me.
In their heart,
Commodores, Lionel Richie. Jesus is Lord. Come on now, and He won't let you down.
He won't let you down.
Come on now.
And I know He's
on a Friday, we're gonna have a little church in here on a Friday. Watch out, y'all. Watch out, y'all.
In my heart. We've got to walk on.
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
There you go, baby.
Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. It is Black Music Month. We give you a little inspirational black music to uplift your soul.
I know the truth, and His word will be our salvation.
Those were the two songs I would close a radio show out with. I would do Howard Hewitt Say Amen, or I would do.
I need to call him and wake him up. He don't call me back. I'm gonna wake him up on the air.
All right, so since y'all, it's one day before my birthday. It's the first day of summer. It is the 21st of June. That was one of Fatime's songs. I played one of mine. Now this one, a lot of folks don't know this song. Hold on. Let me see if I can get my girl in here. When you go through sickness, and you go through problems, and you go through not only you know, just regular sickness, but you go through seems to be trying times. I had the awesome opportunity, and this happens every Essence. I have been on Radio Row at Essence ever since the first Essence Music Festival 30 years ago. And a lot of folks don't know, I did not start off in talk radio. I did not start off, I did start off taking care of a morning show because our morning show guy couldn't do the morning show, but I did Sunday morning gospel. I was very well known as the gospel guy. I would do inspirational and gospel music. I did a show called Upbeat Gospel. But when I had got sick and I had got really bad to the point that the doctors did not know if I was going to live, I remember when this sister called me, and this sister actually sung this song for me while I was sick. She actually sang the song to me while I was on my sick bed, and I still believe to this day that took me to a spiritual place, and some things happened that changed my
And Joe,
my
and
whole
what I want,
where I
I'm
was
gonna
at.
listen.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen to this. I
Okay.
want you to play what I text you. So we had 2 and 2, and then we go to our
Okay.
guests when they comes on.
All right, no problem. Got you.
I just got to get my thing off the printer right.
Get it.
When I look back over my life and I see all the things God's done for me, been through danger, heartache, and trouble, I thank the Lord, He's rescued me.
26 minutes.
I could have been dead.
26 minutes past the hour. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told Black
Then the Lord,
Music Month. Had to hit you with a little Dorinda Clock Code from the Clock Sisters.
Yes, He did.
I don't know about y'all.
Now I can say
through everything I've been through,
that I'm still here.
That I'm still here.
It
is by the grace.
The grace of God.
By the grace of God. All right, let me pull this up for Fatigue.
When I look back over my life and I see all the things the Lord has brought me through, been through sickness, trials, and suffering, I thank the Lord, He's blessed me still. Oh, I could have lost the faith, and I could have fell from His grace. Now I can say that I'm still here, and it's by the grace of God. It's no goodness on my own.
Go ahead, brother. And is our guest in the green room? Okay, cool. Let me text him.
That's what I'm going to get. 28 minutes past the hour. Listen up, family. This is what I've been through. I'm still here.
still here. It's by the grace of God. Whoa. Ooh, I'm still here.
Wait a minute. So let me play this. I guess it's in the green.
Okay.
So, Brother Fatine said I need to play this.
Yeah, you sound off mic, Joe.
I know, because I'm a little bit far from the mic.
Oh, okay, cool. Got it.
Don't worry about it. I got this. Here we go.
So let me just say this. As we go to, there's two people that, you know, from back in the day, Rosetta Thought. She was the one that's my mother. She loved her as a gospel singer. She picked that guitar. Of course, Mahalia Jackson is the queen of queens, but Aretha Franklin. I could not end this little segment here before we bring on our guest without having a little Aretha Franklin. And there's so many to pull, from Precious Lord to Amazing Grace. But I pulled one with her and Reverend James Cleveland from her best ever selling album. And this is a live version. This is her live recording.
Come on,
chops. Something goes low. It was high, then it went low, little Joe. This is Precious Memories from Aretha Franklin.
In the stillness, of the midnight, sacred secret. Yes, you will.
Sad hour. When I get a little low.
Yeah.
The truth, the real truth of Jesus. Thank you. Love is told. Oh yeah.
So, Brother Fatine, we had Brother Marcus.
No, I was texting you. He stepped out. He's coming back. He's going to the app.
Okay.
Jesus, whisper.
ready to bring him in, brother?
Yeah, you can bring him in because I got another song, but it'll make you cry. We may end this segment with this, brother, with this song I sent to you. This song, and if you saw the movie, and I'm not gonna say the movie name, it's a tearjerker that I just sent you, and it's a Mahalia Jackson song.
All right, now. So, family,
let's go.
Introduced to who we have in the green room. He hasn't came on camera. He's in the green room, but he hasn't came on camera yet.
All right, my guest, my man, put your camera on. And I think what we did just now, and thank you everybody that's in the chat that commented, on this. I think this was a way to uplift our spirits this morning. As we said, June is Black Music Month. June is also Gun Violence Awareness Month as well. So how are we going to start this segment? Before I introduce our guests, I have to talk about something that took place back on May 14th, 2022. An 18-year-old shooter, Peyton S. Gidron, carried out a racially motivated mass shooting at a Tops Friendly Market supermarket in Buffalo, New York, killing 10 African Americans and injuring 3. Gidron live streamed part of the attack on Twitch before being arrested and charged with multiple crimes, including murder and domestic terrorism. Gidron, who had previously described himself as an ethno-nationalist and white supremacist, voiced support for the Great Replacement conspiracy theory in his manifesto. The attack had been classified as an act of domestic terrorism and a hate crime, prompting calls for policy changes from New York Governor Kathy Hochul, including a ban on semi-automatic sales to those under 21 and certain types of body armor. On February 15, 2023, Gidron was sentenced to 11 consecutive life sentence without parole after pleading guilty to all state charges. Federal charges remain ongoing. And when this was written here, I had to talk a little bit about that. During the attack, Gidron, equipped with an illegal modified AR-15 style rifle and wearing body armor, shot 4 people in the parking lot, 8 inside the store. The victims include former Buffalo Police Lieutenant Aaron Salter Jr., who attempted to stop Gidron. Gidron eventually surrendered to police after firing a total of 60 shots and making disturbing statements about his motives. This was racially motivated, created a manifesto. We talked about Dylan Ruth with what he went into church in Charleston, South Carolina, and murdered those folks. The brother I want to bring on right now, his name is Marcus Talley. He's the author of the book 514, May 14, but it says 514, the day the devil came to Buffalo. He is the founder and executive director of Agents for Advocacy, a nonprofit organization established in the wake of his mother's, Geraldine C. Talley. Lift her name up. Geraldine C. Talley, untimely death due to this racist terrorist attack. Mark Talley lost his mother in this attack. The primary mission and vision statement of Agents for Advocacy, which is on their website, agentsforadvocacy.org, is to combat systemic racism and provide awareness on socioeconomic inequality so that we can foster a reality in which one's race and one's socioeconomic environment shouldn't determine one's future. With that being said, let's bring Brother Mark Talley on screen. This is my brother. This is my man. I had to put this shirt on today for you, my brother. Thank you and welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told with myself, Joe Dupree Anderson, our other sister, Sister Jack. She's on a camping trip with her husband and a group of kids out of Newark, New Jersey. So I'm not sure if she can come on because of a reception issue, but we want to welcome you to our broadcast this morning, my brother.
Oh, well, thank you both for having me. Glad to be here.
We appreciate you being here, brother.
Yeah. And let me just say this to you, and I say this to you, and I don't do it out of being repetitious, but I do it out of the love that we have for us as a people, for humanity. You know, that was your mom's, man. And, you know, for people to lose their loved ones, for this to be live streamed. My prayers again goes out to you, my brother. You're a strong brother. One thing, when I interviewed you on my show, you're a strong brother. You move forward, and you deal with it how you choose to deal with it. But I respect how you deal with it. But again, we have to offer our condolences and prayers to you before we even start this interview. All right?
Oh, thank you, sir. Got to be strong. Like the Bible said, only the weak shall perish.
There you go. So let's give our audience a sense, you know, before we get into, we know why you wrote the book, but let's get into, because I said your mother's name, Geraldine C. Talley. Talk a little bit who your mother was and is to you, you know, and then talk about where you was at that day when you got this unfortunate, tragic news, Brother Mark.
All right. Well, I was at work at the time at the county hospital here in the city, working in the behavioral health wing. You know, come around 2:20ish p.m. that day. You know, all of our phones just start ringing and going off. You know, we're all gossiping among each other. You know, we realized there was some type of shooting happening at the grocery store. So I'm texting my friends that, you know, we're making jokes about the whole incident. You know, it's the summer of 2022. We've been previously locked down for both summers due to COVID. So, you know, we're making jokes. People ready to go outside, party. No, guns go off. It's party time now. It wasn't until I got home that I realized, you know, the depth of the situation that I got on when I got the phone call from a relative of mine telling me it's been a shooting at Tops and my mother was inside and she hasn't come out. You know, once I got that, you know, phone call, it definitely was a shock to the system. Because not only was I making jokes about it, now I found out that, you know, my mother was one of the victims inside. And it compounded on top of the situation once I found out that this was a racially motivated, you know, incident as well. And it was, you know, especially being here, you hear a terrorist attack happen, you know, in New York, you're automatically thinking, all right, New York City, you know, is something happened in New York City again? If not New York City, you know, maybe Albany, seeing how it's the capital, but you're not thinking a terrorist attack, you know, is about to happen in, you know, your city, your neighborhood, at a store you frequented, you know, plenty of times. And to find out it was a racial attack at that, on top of finding out then he recorded it. It was just, you know, situation on top of situation that, you know, you have to deal with. And it wasn't until, you know, close to a week later that I finally was able to, you know, come back to my normal self in a somewhat unnormal reality, taking in everything, you know, that my body has processed, that mentally my body has processed.
Joe? Your mic muted, Joe.
Mark, I had to get myself together. First, brother, my prayers go out continuously to you, your family, the victims that suffered at the hands of this racist individual who had no love for God, humanity, or for life. Unfortunately, and I want to post a picture back up there again. I assume this is a picture of you with your mother. I'm pretty much sure it is. They're at Tops. That this happened in your community, man, and that you rose from the ashes to promote to our people how we need to be vigilant. Even so, talk to me about the book. Talk to me about how you rose from the ashes because you only got one mom. I know this. I know this because of my tragic and things that have occurred in my life. Man, talk about the love between you and your mama. Talk to me about that.
Absolutely. Here, I can start with the book because, no, here, I definitely appreciate it. I appreciate you trying to show a picture of my mother. That actually is the woman who helped me write the book.
Okay, that helped.
Uh,
Okay, okay.
and yeah, we just took a picture right there in front of Tops after we completed it. And the book basically describes, me and my relationship with my mother. Couple from we try to go a chapter or two going from me, being in my middle school years up until now, describing how it was like when my father left us in Florida, describing my mother's life as a single mother, and I'm just picking out, quick moments throughout our, time together when I was younger. We hit immediately into 514, the day of what happened, and every chapter after that is basically the aftermath of stuff I've had to deal with, from basically being at her funeral to walking inside her house for the first time, knowing she's not there, although I can still smell her, see her stuff, knowing, I just got done. I'm about to get done burying her soon. So it was a traumatic experience. Constantly having to, at the time I really wasn't that well versed in the media. Close to 2 years now is second nature, but at that time I wasn't used. I'm getting all of these phone calls from the local news to the newspapers, from CNN. I'm wondering, how did CNN even get my phone number? MSNBC, um, BBC. I'm having people from different countries calling me, and although I know they're doing their job, the first thing you want to hear, hey, are you Mark Talley? Is your mother Geraldine Talley the one that just died? And it's dealing with people knowing, oh, that's the son um, of one of the victims in Tops. Knowing you can't walk down the street without people recognizing you. Knowing you can't go into a store without people wanting to come up to you, wanting to hug you. Constantly having to deal with the burden of people just wanting to talk to you about your mother's death, and you're still not processing it yourself in that immediate week. So I basically just get into the aftermath of everything from the first couple of days, the day of, to up until now.
Wow. So and see, my thing is, when speaking with you, it's different than when we do an interview versus some of the news media that do an interview, because even though they're getting your story out, they move from story to story. To be in the community, to fight these, people don't realize, when I say I've been out there, with Reverend Sharpton back in the day, people don't realize that, you may see us in front of the cameras back in the day, but you don't see when we have to be there holding the family's hand. You don't know what it takes to give the support to the family. Can you talk about the people that surrounded you during this time? How did you get through this with the support of people in the community? Because this is a Black community. This is a Black community, and we talk about these food deserts and things like that. This brother targeted a grocery store that majority African American Black people frequent. But talk about the people that gave you support, from local people that are known nationally, or if shout out to people. When I use the word shout out, talk about the people that supported and made a difference in your life during this time, not only for you but to other families as well.
Absolutely. I can give, the first shout out is, Ben Crump, Al Sharpton, National Action Network. I've never really done public speaking, and here I am now being thrown on the forefront at the church. On my left shoulder, I got Ben Crump, right shoulder, Al Sharpton, and I'm I'm coming in third, the cleanup hitter, having to speak after those two. And I mean, it was powerful, after I got done, we went in the back, I'm having both of them come up telling me you just did an amazing job out there. You brought the house down. You're a very powerful speaker. At first I thought, hey, I'm pretty sure they say this a lot. They from city to city every couple of days. They know how to deal with this. They do this a lot. Then having them call you and send you a text, even weeks out, saying, hey, I just saw your interview. Like you have a gift. You are tremendously powerful in speaking. Having Reverend Al Sharpton, as you just got done in a funeral speaking about your mother, him giving you a hug and whispering in your ear, telling him you are a special man. You are powerful. You can do this on a national level. You have a gift. I mean, all I can say is that's just powerful. Reverend Al Sharpton doesn't have to say that. He could just give you a hug. You did a good job, and that's it. But having him continuously, preach to you, saying, you have a gift in this line of work. Just 2 years ago, better or less, I was just a security guard dealing with behavioral health people. Now you're having, America's, number one civil rights leader and America's number one civil rights lawyer, texting you and telling you have this gift. I mean, it's powerful. Having Reverend Al Sharpton's mentor wanting you to take down his number, saying if you need anything, give you a call. I mean, it's powerful. You go from admiring people you see on TV, and now the people on TV, you have them telling you can do what we're doing. You have that voice. I mean, it's a different level. It's kind of like being, kind of NBA Finals just got, concluded, and they showed the pictures. One picture I saw, they had Jason Tatum as a child at Kevin Durant's basketball camp.
Right.
And now you have, Jason Tatum here at the top professional, basketball league in the NBA, going up against somebody he idolized and, dunking on him. So it's a whirlwind experience from being idolizing somebody to now you're trying to work in the field. I'm not going to put myself side by side, but now we're in the same field, not the same stratosphere, but same field at least. Amen. And for in the community, so I wouldn't go crazy. I just started volunteering, and I'm working with people, in here, Pastor Giles. He's been doing this with Back to Basic Ministries over 40 years. Reverend Lewis, the local president here of the Black chapter of the National Action Network. He's been doing this for 30 years. You're working with people who you didn't know about in this advocacy field, who's been doing for multiple decades, and they're trying to teach you the game of how you do this, how you go about, how you politic, how you help the people, how do you get donations, how do you get grants, how do you set up to help the community so it's not just you having one community event, giving out some food and then leaving, but how you can actually impact people on a day-to-day basis. And luckily, I think I've been doing pretty good at it, but I'm just definitely grateful that I have people who can help me. I forgot to mention him, Reverend Toon.
The best Toon, that's my man.
Like, he put the idea in my head out of nowhere. He said, hey, you should start an organization. You should start a nonprofit. I mean, I didn't even know how I would even go about this process. Luckily, Toon, he held my hand the first couple months before he told me, all right, it's time for you to fly.
So Mark, it is a blessing to see how you have changed this tragic situation into a triumph. And tell me a little something about this picture right here. I want to post it because I see the love. I see the love. So I'm gonna put it up there. Tell me something about this picture right here. Tell me about this picture.
This was in 2015. Just graduated from Buffalo State University with a double bachelor's in economics and urban.
Educated black man. Come on, get it. Let's get it.
I was happy because she got to attend. I didn't want to go that day. Like, I knew it was going to be hot. We had like 300 people in the graduating class, and I was steadfast. I'm not going. I'm not going to this. The day prior, she basically just told me, here, we're going to this. I'm not about to miss you out. I'm not about to miss you graduating, walking across the stage. So as you see, I kind of I'm ready to go frown on my.
Yeah, you got all that daggone black on a hot day. I see why you was frowning, but no, congratulations, my brother. Congratulations on that. And Joe, I appreciate you putting that picture up of his mom's, because it shows you that we are going through life. And just like Brother Mark just said, when you turn on the television and you see it being Breonna Taylor's family, you see it being Yusuf Hawkins' family, you see it being so many other families, you don't think it will hit home to your family. And I could express this. I don't do it a lot, but I just said it. When the cameras go away, these folks are still left with the pain,
right,
and the tragedy, and they have to go through each day. And we use these cliches, push through, but it's not always easy to push through. Your mind is a theater, and it replays so many different things in your mind. I'm telling you, the things that I have seen and the lend support to other families, doing the moment of dealing with this in the moment, and then 5-10 years after, these anniversaries that come around, holidays that come around. Some people, and we talk about this, we haven't talked about on hashtag Truth Be Told because we are not even been up 6 months yet. But some people dread the holiday season because they used to enjoy that holiday season with their loved ones.
Right.
So we want you to understand, it's not that it's about moping, but you have to understand people are dealing with pain. And we, at the end of the day, sometimes we minimize people's pain to talk about other things out there, not realizing people are hurting. If you can't be empathetic, you can be sympathetic. Empathetic means you went through something similar. Sympathetic is you have some type of humanity in your heart to feel for a person that may be going through a certain type of pain. You understand? We push through. Agentsforadvocacy.org. You created this nonprofit organization to help people. You didn't just sit there and wallow in your pain, even though you still have pain. Let's talk a little bit about your organization, my brother, in a sense of where it's at now and how it helps people in the community and outside the community.
Absolutely. When we first got started, we were just, I thought it was going to be a slow burn. I thought it'd just be a small community organization. And it just blew up. The first event we did, it was for 4th of July weekend. And I just wanted to have something in the community. We were all moping around as we should have been. The Tops was closed. I'm pretty sure nobody wanted to celebrate the 4th of July after, just having a terrorist attack in the city. So I figured, let me just do something here right across the Tops for the people who live in the area, live in the community, live right down the street from it. Let me just go across in the lot, put some hot dogs, put some hamburgers, hope for people to come out. Didn't know nothing about marketing, advertising, getting the word of mouth out. I just assumed, heck, hopefully if people smell smell the food, they'll come.
Smell good food, they'll come. Yeah.
So I just put a post on Facebook, started an organization. This is what I'm doing. We're going to be right across the street. Once people connected the dots, they found out what the organization was for. They found out who started the organization. They found out why I started the organization. It was close to 500-600 people. I only went to Sam's Club and bought 30 hot dogs and 30 hamburgers. So, once again, luckily, Pastor Giles, he was in the area. He helped me out. He ended up going to Sam's Club, getting a lot more hamburgers and hot dogs. Luckily, I didn't have to be on the grill. They got one of the old uncles to do it. I wasn't prepared for it. And it was a good time just seeing all the beautiful, Black people out there, although we're all in a bubble of despair just for that day. During those 4 or 5 hours we were out there, just listening to music, playing with each other, taking pictures, just eating together. It was a good time. Following that event, we had our back to school drives. We was able to supply, close to 300 families with, book bags for their children. We had a Thanksgiving event. We were able to supply over 1,000 Thanksgiving containers for unhoused communities and people in the area near Jefferson. The following year, it becomes too many events, to remember. I've tell people I forgot more events than I've thrown recently. Just some of our bigger ones we've done. For last year, our back to school drive, we supplied over 3,000 children with filled backpacks. We supplied over 200 families with whole turkeys, and it's sad and funny at the time when it comes to Thanksgiving. It's on one hand, it's funny you seeing people willing to fight their fellow man for a turkey. Then you realize it's sad because, man, they're probably about to fight this person to get a turkey. So it's a $20-$25 turkey, and it's like the dueling of two evils. It shouldn't be sad that this person is fighting somebody over a turkey. This should, it should be funny, and it's like they're both fighting you. I'm in a position, luckily, where I don't have to worry about fighting somebody over a turkey.
Praise the Lord.
It's sad that this person is risking going to jail. Like somebody, this past event, somebody pulled out a knife on me because, we didn't have any more turkeys left, and I had to come out to tear the whole line. They've been waiting, close to an hour and a half. My apologies. We ran out of, ran out of turkey dinners. We ran out of turkeys. We ran out of hams. And how 0 to 100 somebody goes. It's really sad, that unfortunately nonprofits are put in the position to have to try to balance out what society has unfortunately failed. These people fell through the social safety net, and now the burden is being put on nonprofits. The burden is being put on community leaders to try to advocate and close that gap between the haves and the haves not. But unfortunately, I tell people, if you run a nonprofit, you're always going to fail. You 1,000 people, that 1,001 person who weren't able to get the stuff the 1,000th person is, you're always going to be a villain in his story because you couldn't help him. Right.
And brother Mark, what you see is the level of disparity in our communities, especially from, you have a degree in economics, and we don't understand economics. We don't understand the systems. And sometimes the system was not created for us to prosper anyway. And then we have men like yourself that I have to give you a round of applause, because you're keeping your mom's legacy alive. You're then putting yourself in a position where you say, look, I'm willing to put myself on the front line, because you didn't know that guy pulling the knife on you, that could have been your last day. Just you out there trying to help the community. You trying to be a blessing to the community. But this man is so desperate or so food deprived or so mentally disturbed that even in your helping, he doesn't see that you've done all you can do. And unfortunately, because he didn't show up on time, because of his lack of not understanding that a lot of folks were showing up and you can only serve so many. And then you see the disparities in our communities and the desperation amongst our people, that a man at an event like that, to bless the community, to bless folks that you have went out there with your nonprofit to help, instead of him looking at you as a hero, he looks at you as a villain. That's sad.
Very sad. I want to read some of the people chat here in the chat. Great point. Excellent point, Joe. Mashawn Bain says, now I have to remember how deceptive these, he put, whites are for real. Jewel Wall says, my Lord. Eddie Bonnet sends prayers. Jewel sends prayers. Mashawn comes back, says, the top supermarket where I am changed their name. They changed their supermarket name. If somebody has that, Brother Mark can let us know. Jewel, she says, Reverend Dr. Al Sharpton, she gives nothing but like 4 hearts. So there's, Jewel does that. Jewel can praise God. Jewel also says, I like how you, Brother Mark, you express yourself. Jewel says, congratulations to you. Douglas Gidry, he says, good job, brother. God 100 made a way for you. One thing I don't do is I don't politicize something like this unless we were fighting for a bill or something like that. And I know Governor Hochul came on our Open Line show. And I said something to her. When she was pushing for the bill, and I said to her, I appreciate what you're doing. I said, don't let it take a tragedy for you to return to our broadcast. Because a lot of times some politicians don't come till they need a vote or whatever. But my thing is, how did you personally, because you can't broad brush a whole group of folks out there, but how did you look at racism before this incident? And how do you look at racism after this incident, Brother Mark?
I looked at racism the same. It's just now I'm actually on the front lines with the people trying to fight it. I say Buffalo was the same on, May 13th as it was on, May 15th. Just May 14th, that's when the spotlight and cameras came to it. And they got to show the suburbs and most of America how, we're consistently top 5 and, the most segregated city, the most racist city. 80% of all the African Americans here in the city of Buffalo live on the east side. As most highways here in America, the highways, built here went through all of our communities, African American communities. So people who lived in the suburbs, primarily white people, could avoid driving through the city, through the dangerous ghettos, as they call it at the time, to avoid black people to get to where they got it going out. I always say, African Americans, we were the first form of currency. We was the first form of property. You have Wall Street, the White House, Wall Street. Most cities here in America was built off the pain, suffrage, and blood of African Americans. And yet we still never get our due diligence, recognition, or reparations. It's the reason why, this happened. The top shooter coming, that wasn't I always say that was a symptom of the racism here in America. You can drive down in any city here, in the country, and you can automatically tell, all right, now I'm in the urban area. I'm starting to feel more bumps in the road. There's less mom and pop shops. There's more liquor stores, more gas stations, more bodegas. It's more it's more name brand, like name brand, no grocery chains. It's no more the local ones. It's
No fresh foods.
yeah,
No.
exactly. No fresh foods. It's I describe it. It's like knowing what a ghetto or urban community is in your city. It's kind of like watching porn. There's no definition of it, but you'll eventually know. No, you start seeing more people sleeping in tenements under bridges, more more people out in the middle of the street just begging for change. More it's hard to say. You just know.
More
Like when you
lack. More
yeah.
lack. More lack.
Uh-huh.
More lack. That's how you know you in the hood. Everybody, it's more lack. It's more lack. It's more dilapidation. You don't see good. You don't see good housing. Things look decrepit. Things look dilapidated. Uh, Sometimes we have to grow up in some of the most deplorable conditions, and we consider it everyday living. Everyday living. Most of us as children, as we grew up in the ghettos around this country, we never looked at it. We just said we just didn't have. We just didn't have. It. I always say that. I always say, Mark, sadly, the systems that were built to pour into the urban areas, to uplift the urban areas, are lacking. It ceases to amaze me how the funding and the resources that were supposed to uplift us is never there to be found. However, it seems to be everything that we need to kill us is always being pumped into our communities. You have a lot of guns in our communities. You have a lot of dope in our communities. You have a lot of negative things that literally are in our communities to kill us. You go to non-melanated parts of town, you see fresh fruits and vegetables. You don't see ramen noodles high in sodium, and you don't see the stuff that normally will cause health issues amongst people in non-melanated communities. Period.
Exactly.
When you just mentioned the noodles, because that's here. I live in the first suburb here outside of Buffalo, so I get to see both parts. I'm a rock straw away from being back in the inner city where I stay at, and it's like I do DoorDash and Uber a lot, and when either I'm getting, I may want a bottle of alcohol to to celebrate my organization success, getting this grant, or like you said, I may want some noodles, and it's like the number of liquor stores that pop up, and you look at the zip codes. I did this one day. I looked at the zip codes. They were all, in the Buffalo area, in the inner city area, compared to the zip codes of where I stay at and the zip codes further away from me in the suburbs. There's not that many liquor stores out here. When you start looking at the noodles, you start seeing the Family Dollars, Dollar Generals, Dollar Trees, or the grocery stores advertising either the ramen noodles, or I forgot the other name brand, high sodium noodles, compared to the noodles you see out here, with the plant-based noodles, the low calorie, low sodium noodles. And it's just either stuff like that. There are no healthy options for the things that you want that you can get here in the inner city. And unfortunately, I work with at-risk youth, and I tell them, somewhat of the same things. You put 5 lions in a cage, and you throw 3 stakes in there. You're constantly going to be fighting. Nobody can ever have equal anything. And unfortunately, the further you get away from the inner city, there's a plethora of stuff out here for every individual, where everybody can just be equal and have the same stuff. And unfortunately, it's not like that, in urban communities, although it could easily be like that. But unfortunately, due to, redlining, gerrymandering, and systemic racist policies, that's been in place in society, since the birth of the nation.
Birth of a nation.
We're always constantly, like I told Reverend Al Sharpton and Ben Crump the first time I met them, we used to be second-class citizens. Now it's looking like we're becoming, third-class citizens.
That's it, brother. I want to put out that book. Your book name is 514, The Day the Devil Came to Buffalo. Your mission and your nonprofit organization is Agents for Advocacy. And the website is agentsforadvocacy, one word, .org, agentsforadvocacy.org. And again, it's to combat systemic racism and provide awareness on socioeconomic inequality so that we can foster a reality in which one's race and one's socioeconomic environment shouldn't determine one's future. Mark, I'm going to leave you with last words. We're going to end this segment because when we started this segment before you came on, we talked a little bit about what was some gospel and inspirational songs. And I saw a couple of times you write your face, and rightfully so. This is emotional. This is tear-jerking. We're going to end the song, with a song. And, these are troubled times. We are in troubled times, But I want to leave you with last words. And then, of course, if Joe wants to add or ask something before we, if there's anything that we may have left out or something that you want to say to our folks, I'll give you your final words, my brother.
During my speaking engagements, a lot of people aren't privy to all the information that's happening in their society. They only go by what they see on the news and in the newspapers. And luckily, through an unfortunate situation, I've been privileged to be in these behind closed door rooms and meetings and understand truly how a city is governed and how politics work, how economics works, and the intermingling of all of these economic systems, in place. So I just try to tell people when just an old Malcolm X quote regarding the news in the newspaper, sometimes the newspaper will have you, hating the people that's being oppressed and loving the people who's doing oppressing. So I just try to tell people, make sure you're constantly aware, make sure you do your research. Don't go by Facebook quotes or rants that you see people doing. And recently, the one talking about a bill in the House just got approved for, young men between 18 and 25 having to go, serve in the Army. And it's like the number of people, who thought, the draft was back. And it's like, how long selective, I forgot the name of it, selective something has been in here, and it goes against the House of Representatives. Like, ain't nobody going to war. And like you see stuff put on online, social media, the outrage. You see the things that people try to put up, in a race war. You're having two WNBA players, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, trying to being put against each other, in a race war. And it's like when you've been doing this now, and I've only been doing it for 2 years in advocacy, leadership, and dealing with racial awareness, it makes it infuriating for people who can't see how the media and newspapers are trying to do a bait and switch on you. Like even with the whole, the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef, this is, I want to tell you, like, you don't see the colorism in play in our community with this?
Oh yeah, I see it. And unfortunately, when you're involved in it and you don't know no better, when you're not putting out substance music and substance this, even though I shared something dealing with this, you're right. It's easy to dupe the community. When you don't give them a foundation and understand certain things, you look at things instead of into things. And when you look into things, you have a better understanding how they are utilizing you. But when they are the puppeteer and you're the puppet, they manipulate you out here. When you talk about the colorism, I haven't even talked about that. Even in the medical, it's everywhere. In the medical field, it's everywhere. And it's interesting you brought that up, because I didn't look at it in this Drake Kendrick Lamar situation, but the colorism is there as well. Wow. It's crazy. But to people, I've said this before, and we had a brother, Eitan, that was on yesterday, and we were talking about being prepared and talking about a lot of other things. And I tell folks that a lot of times people make statements because they're vibrating on this level. A lot of people don't have information. Right now, brother, you are meeting a lot of different people. You are expanding your knowledge. You are expanding. You're meeting so many other folks that are bringing knowledge to you, as well as you exchanging knowledge. And that's what growth is. And I try to explain people when they're looking at the surface, and when you just said it, if you're getting your information from a news clip, news bite, social media, it sometimes doesn't go in depth about what you're trying to talk about, but then you use it as a talking point, and you're being manipulated at the end of the day. That's why I tell people a lot of times you say things, but you really don't understand what the hell you're saying.
Exactly.
But brother, yeah.
A lot of people out there like that. People love the negativity. Like I say, you see a plane crash, that's going to be on the news all week. They say one plane crash, that's going to be discussed the whole month. But they don't tell you the other hundreds of thousands, if not million planes that just landed.
They don't tell you about the other folks that are doing good jobs. Yeah, crime is in our community. I just got on somebody. I'm getting ready to blast somebody down here in South Carolina about how they can continue to put negative things out on social media as part of the news, but you don't uplift the community. That's why we brought a young girl on who graduated 5th grade, who got straight A's from 1st grade to 5th grade. How many times, again, do we spotlight some of the good things that we do in our community? We not only need to let folks know that good things are being done, you also got to let the folks that are doing good things that we are behind you and support you and encourage you and motivate you. So well said, brothers. Well said. Joe, I'll let you go ahead and close this segment out, my brother. But I just say personally to you, brother Mark Talley, and again, thank you, my brother. Stand strong. You know how to reach me. And you talked about, Attorney Crump, and I let Attorney Crump say that the other day. I brought him and Reverend Sharpton together on an incident of a boot camp situation where this kid died, a Black kid died, and they want to blame it on sickle cell trait. My late wife had sickle cell anemia. So when I saw that on Good Morning America, I called it BS right off the bat, reached out to Attorney Crump, got him, connected him with Reverend Sharpton. And that's how that union was brought together. But now with you, my brother, meeting Joe and this platform, I'm here for you, my brother. And anything that I can do for you, just reach out, man. I'm here. And thank you for making the time, even though you had a busy schedule. I reached out to you 2 weeks ago. You made the commitment, reached out to me yesterday, said, "Oh, we still on?" I said, "Thank you for reminding me, brother, my brother." Thank you for reminding me, and no hesitation, my brother, because this is the information that we need to bring to our community.
So it is 23 minutes past the hour. Brother Talley, I really appreciate you being on here. Appreciate your closing words. We're going to close you out by doing this. Not only was your mother one of the victims, but there were others. So we're going to close out like this. Let me get it ready.
Soon we'll be done, trouble of the world, trouble of the world, trouble of the world. Soon we'll be done. Trouble of the world. Going home to leave the gold. No more weeping on wailing. No more weeping on wailing. No more weeping on wailing. Going home to live with my Lord. Soon we'll be done. Trouble of the world. Trouble of the world. Trouble, Lord, of this world. Soon we'll be done. Trouble of the world. Going home to leave with my Lord. I want see my mother. I want see my mother. I want to see my mother going home to live with God. Soon will be done. Trouble of the world. Trouble of the world. Trouble of this world. How sooner will be done with the trouble of the world. I'm going home to live with
Wow. Whew. Wow. Brother Mark, you know, that we wanted to end it there, my brother, and to uplift you and remember your moms, Geraldine, Tally, and all other victims there and the troubles of this world. I try not to play that scene from the movie Imitation of Life. This is from the Imitation of Life. This is a tearjerker movie. And I could just see in that last scene when that the mother passed and that daughter led her through and running to get to her mother's casket. So again, our prayers to you, Brother Mark, and to all the other families that have been touched by this horrific tragedy, that we continue to pray that God gives you strength to continue to move on, to fight on, to stand proud, my brother. Your mother did her job, life taken too soon, but she was proud of you and she's seen some proud moments. continue to make her and the family and other people proud, my brother. God bless you. All right. All right. Thank you, brother. We're going to take you on out. There you go. Joe.
Woo! 30 minutes. 30 minutes after the hour. And deep show today. First day of summer.
Wow.
Great guest. Tragic situation to remind us that evil is out there lurking, waiting for the opportunity to raise its ugly, racist head and reveal to us that we are not as safe as we think we are. So you need to be vigilant. You need to be always with your head on a swivel, because you don't want to be the next victim of senseless racism that does exist in this country.
And you don't want to also be a victim of self-hatred that we
Right.
do to one another
Come on.
out here. So we just put it all together there. And this is, I told Joe I don't really say what we do, but this is what we do. And we're going to have moments like this where it's going to be solemn. But out of that, like my brother Latham Tume, he was always say, for T, there's always hope, because just like there's concrete out there, there's that blade of grass that is able to cut through concrete. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? But tomorrow's your birthday, my brother. We move forward. We pause for a moment, because what happens is sickness and death makes you pause and realize what life is or what it was. So what I'm saying is we pause. We don't give too much energy, because now that was a learning lesson for you. Like you said, what it could have been, but it wasn't that.
Right.
But now, what did you learn from that, which and what you do going forward? We talk about living life. And for the remainder of the show, I do, want to bring this back to an upliftment. But we do not just ignore the pain of others out there. We have to tell these stories, because the only way that we can get better is to acknowledging the past and trying to get better.
That's right.
Forward.
That's true. Yeah, tomorrow is my birthday. And listen, family, I don't know. Some of you know, some of you don't know. Last week, Thursday, I was in the ER, and it wasn't looking too good for good old Joe Dupree. But once again, God had a plan that superseded any plan that could have brought death and destruction to me. So people say, do you do this? Do you not do this? Yeah, I'm doing it. If you are feeling like you want to be a blessing to a brother on his birthday, there it is. There it is. There it is. I don't care if it's $1, 50 cents, $20, $2 million. I could care less, but I'm putting it out there. If you want to be a blessing to a brother on his birthday, look, there's my Cash App. There it is. There it is. I did it. And it's shameless. But you know what? I almost didn't see 57 years. I was almost a week from seeing my birthday, and still tomorrow has not came. It is not promised to none of us. So live your best life right now at this moment. If there's some things you need to get out your system, get them out your system right now. If there's some negativity, that's the first thing I said Thursday. I said, should this be my last moment? I do not want my last moment to be with me harboring any hate, any issues. I want to have nothing but love in my heart. And I realized something. You might have a room full of family, friends, and loved ones. You might be all by yourself. But when that final moment hits you, it's really just going to be you and you alone. And family, we got to get to a place where when that does come, you can literally let that last moment of life leave out you, knowing that you lived a good life. Stop living for other folks. Live for yourself. Understand this, your job, they'll have a replacement for you the next day. Your family, they'll mourn for a while, but life will keep going. The world will keep turning. Live your best life. So yeah, I put it out there. If you want to bless a brother, send a brother a little something. If you want to show me some love on my birthday, there it is. There it is. Ooh, there it is.
Hey, Joe. So what I want to put out to the people again, I'm gonna stick back with Black Music Month. I want folks, I'm gonna throw one out there now. I'm gonna throw something out there, curveball. I want you folks to put out there some of your best artists out there. It doesn't matter what genre of music. Doesn't have to just be R&B or whatever it could be. I'm gonna tell you. Oh, you know what? I don't want to give it away. I'm gonna text you right now, Joe. I need you to put this in right now.
I'm getting ready because we're getting ready. Tomorrow is my birthday. My daughter, Keanu Sade Anderson, is about to birth in July my first grandson, Jordan Quest Anderson. And so this is a song that me and my daughter, when she was little bitty, we used to ride around. I used to have a little Nissan truck, a little small Nissan truck. I'm trying to pull this up. I hope I can. Let me see. Where is this? Yeah, there it is. We used to ride around and listen to this song. And we would sing this song. I think she was maybe 10, 11 years old. I don't forget how old she was. But we used to ride around and sing this song. This is not a Black artist, but we used to ride around and sing this song. And so family, put in songs that brings back great memories. But every time I think about my daughter, Keanu, and now I think she's getting ready to go into motherhood. And as I have been her father, now she will be a mother to a wonderful grandson of mine. I just remember how we used to ride around in this little Nissan truck. I would pick her up from school. We would be going somewhere and we would sing this song right here. And this was crazy. And I used to love the song. And we just used to be riding like. And it was a stick shift. That was what was funny. He'd be like, shift it, daddy. We just be driving, hey.
I was so high, I did not recognize the fire burning in her eyes.
So y'all put it in the chat. Put the song.
I just text you one, Joe. I just text you one.
I'll get ready to play it in a minute.
She got on a plane, never to return again.
Give me some volume. Give me some volume.
This love has taken its toll on me. She said goodbye too many times before. And her heart is breaking in front of me. And I have no choice, cause I won't say goodbye anymore.
Here's how we do it. We go.
Whoa.
I'm just saying, that's how we used to do it. So let me see what Fatim got. Man, listen, y'all better live y'all best life.
Yeah, put it out there. I see what anybody. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm going there, brother. Oh, I'm going there. I'm going there. I'm changing genres right now on you.
He took it to Memphis 10 on me.
That's right, baby. That's right. That's right. I took it back to my parents' era. That alcohol is flowing. They talking mess.
Hey,
but they having a good time. And that was what we continue to do as the family.
Anybody who goes on Beale Street in Memphis, Tennessee knows that there's one place you got to go to. And when you go there, let me tell you something. Lucille be somewhere hung up, doing her thing. But let me tell you something. When you hear this, you know it's Memphis 10. You know it's Memphis 10.
Thrill is gone.
Watch out now.
The thrill is gone away.
You really made me think about something. I'm about to mess everybody's head up. After this one, I got something for y'all.
Oh, I just do.
The thrill is gone away.
If you are a Southern Soul fan and you know good blues and you know about the Chitlin Circuit, I got something for you.
And you're gonna be so high someday.
The great and immortal B.B. King.
We should have played B.B. King, Bobby Blue Band, and James Brown on Soul Train. We should have played that part too.
I got something for y'all. Now we're gonna close this show out wholly different today, y'all.
The thrill is gone
Oh,
away.
that's why I put it in the chat. We'll try to get to some of your songs out there too.
If you got something you want to hear today, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. You got something that's gonna bring back some good memories. I don't care if it's R&B's from the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 2000s, and beyond. Put it in the chat.
And don't let people giving that some volume. Don't let people say this is old music. You tell them, no, this ain't old music. This is our heritage. This is our legacy, and this is good music. That's what it is.
Since he went there, since he went to what we call the Delta Blues.
Come on, baby.
See, some of y'all don't know about them Delta Blues. Y'all don't know about Muddy Waters.
Damn right,
y'all don't
baby.
know about Howlin' Wolf.
Chess Records, baby.
Y'all don't know about Delta Blues. But we're about to hit y'all with a little something right quick. Here we go. How you making Lucille talk to you? So listen, family, tell me what y'all want to hear. Come on. We might as well. You know, me and Fatim, we're known as on-air personalities, but people call us DJs. Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
What I know.
And people don't know that aspect of me from knowing the music. They see me putting different things on Facebook, you know, and I try to touch people where I put out something by Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes yesterday with Sharon Page, the late Sharon Page, leading on there. So go ahead, Joe, hit me with what you gonna hit me with, bro.
So this guy here, this is what now listen, I was adopted by some sharecroppers. My dad was born in the 1910s. My mom was born in 1923. But my dad used to love this song. He used to love this song. He loved it so much that when I used to work with James Superwolf, I actually had the opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Little Johnny Taylor for y'all. But y'all don't know who this is. This is little Johnny Taylor. Come on, Johnny.
At the casino.
They still play that down in the little juke joints in the South.
Money. She said, don't feel sorry for me. No. Don't feel sorry, honey. But if you want to do our lady a favor, here's what I want you to do. Just loan me $2. Oh, until the next time I see you. But these last $2, I'm not gonna lose. These last $2, I'm not gonna lose.
Yeah, that's called the Delta Blues, y'all. Malico Records coming out of Jackson, Mississippi.
Some blues, gotta hear me some blues. She said I wouldn't be over here. My man had been treating me right. I came here to try to catch him, yeah. Cause he been sneaking around.
It's about 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Yeah.
To the top
I
now.
hit you with a 1990 song, Joe. I don't want folks to feel that we have to live so far back. Throw this 1990 song on there, brother. Now,
all right, okay.
You know, let's see a little something there. You know, I know our audience. I see what you're putting in there, but I don't want to. You know, I can go all up and down the genre. You know, and so can Joe. You understand? Because Joe is a morning man. You know, I dealt with talk, but I'm a music guy. If you ever see me, one of my old pictures from back in 80, you see me with my boombox, baby. I walked the streets of Brooklyn, New York City, playing music, brother.
Oh, them D batteries.
Oh, yeah, them D batteries. D batteries. Radio Rocky.
Them D batteries, baby.
Yeah,
Them
but we
D
gonna give you a
batteries.
little 90s. We'll give you a little 90s flavor here.
Come on now.
Give me some volume, Joe. I don't know. It goes up, then it comes down. I don't know why.
That's in your headphones only.
Oh, Lord.
I promise you.
Somebody told me that the trouble at home, 'cause we never talk a lot when we spend time alone. Yeah. So how are we supposed to know if something is wrong? Well, we've got a way to communicate. It keeps us happy, y'all. And no one does it like me.
Now, it is strange that we're playing Babyface.
Sure.
If some of y'all recall, Babyface performed at one of the Essence Music Festivals, jumped off the stage and took off through the crowd.
Work it on me. This is my song, baby. You know, this is my thing. This is how I move, baby. With that on me. Oh yeah, baby. Work it on me.
With all your sweet, sweet loving on me. When we go to work, how the day seems so long. Oh, the thing we think about, can't wait till we get home. We got a way of talking, and it's better than words.
Let's do this. If we're gonna hit you with a little Babyface, it wouldn't be right unless we hit you like this. I gotta hit you like this.
Go ahead, let me see what you got, Joe. Little Bobby, little Bobby.
But when it gets your call, I'm all choked up. Can't believe you called my home. And as a matter of fact, it blows my mind. You would even talk to me. Because a girl like you is like a dream come true. A real life fantasy. No matter what your friends try to tell you, we will make you fall in love. And we will be together.
I almost feel like a Pastor Mike situation.
And you know, it's interesting. I met New Edition when they were little snot-nosed kids. I hate to say that. I met them at the label, their first label they was on, Streetwise Records, which was located on Avenue of Americans, also known as 6th Avenue. It was two brothers, Greg Riles and Daryl Benjamin. Daryl Benjamin that worked at Streetwise Records, where we formerly worked together at Billboard. They was in the chart department, and I worked, you know, from the mail room to the computer room back then. And that's when I met them. Unfortunately, I took a picture with them, and then they came over to Billboard magazine, and they was like, "You work here, man?" And you know, but I lost that picture when I got flooded out back in 1996 in New York. And I lost that picture, but I knew New Edition, Bobby Brown, all of them. You know, Johnny Gill was not with them at that particular time. Johnny Gill was trying to come up and do his thing when New Edition came out, and he was doing duets with who? Who was he doing duets with?
Stacey
Lattishaw. Stacey Lattishaw. There you go.
That's it. So for anybody who really is a music lover, I remember one of the most, because we're going to be at the 30th anniversary, the 30th birthday of the Essence Music Festival that is this 4th of July weekend. But out of all my Essence memories, the one I remember the most is this performance. This, if you've never seen this artist perform, and you can't see him because he's passed on, he's transitioned, he's went on to glory. There's two artists that I say that in your life, if you did not get the opportunity to see, you missed a treat. One of them was Michael Jackson, and this was the other one. and I got to see him in New Orleans up close and personal. I was actually on like the third row and got to see him perform at Essence, and it was off the chain. All I can say, he's better known as the artist. We're about to baptize you in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Let's go. Oh!
Dig, if you will, the picture of you and I engaged in a kiss. The sweat of your body covers me. Can you
Every time I listen to some Prince,
picture this?
I can't help to think about Charlie Murphy and those skits on Dave Chappelle. I just can't think about how he said, man, and a lot of people didn't know Prince could ball. Prince could ball.
Oh, he ball. He definitely ball.
Baller. He was
Prince
a
was a
baller.
baller. Yep.
He
Not
was
only
a
a baller. I remember he hit 1979. 1979 was his first album and his first big hit. And then my roads never crossed with Prince directly or Michael Jackson. I knew the father, Joe Jackson. And I know Janet is in Essence. I just need to get to Janet. And I'm going to tell you now, Joe, if I get to Janet, I'm going to whisper something to her. Watch what her response will be. I can't say I'm not telling y'all what it is. Watch what her response will be. Because when I say what I'm going to say, it's going to hit home with her. It's something that me and Janet have in common. And once I say that to her, trust me, she will stop in her tracks. But with Prince, he did something for a young lady that I met years ago. And like I said, she lost her place where she were bringing kids to help teach them the arts. And she lost her place to take the kids. Prince found out and told her to bring the kids to his house. His house, not another studio that he paid for. Bring them to my house. You know, so I just think that we allow people, and we talked about this, Joe, and I don't want to make it negative, but I have to call it what it is. And I also want to look at record companies. I want to look at Chess Records, and I want to look at Stax Records. I want to look at Motown. I want to look at Philadelphia International. I want to look at Solar Records. I want to look at those record companies that produced and for our artists out there. I want to look at my man that sometimes comes on here. I want to look at Soul Records. You understand? To talk about, because we don't talk about these institutions. Again, record companies that allow our Black brothers and sisters to have a label to come to. We have to talk about the gospel labels out there that open the door. Who can talk about hip hop without talking about Sylvia Robinson? Who can talk about it? You understand? So this is what I'm saying out there. We need to know our history. That's why it's Black Music Month out there. I even listen, one of the smoothest groups out there, and I play their song, The Platters. And the reason why I play The Platters, because if you go back to Frankie Lyman's movie, Frankie Lyman dealt with a few women, and one of them was the female singer, because the only female singer of The Platters, I think, but they had two. But that Platter song is so smooth just to hear the range, man. That's why don't allow people to take away our heritage. And then, Joe, it's another segment. We're getting ready to bring some young people on here. And they're going to say what happened. They listen to music back in the 70s and the 80s, and they say, where we at today, what happened? What happened for the growth of our music? And don't say, oh, we old style and this, that, and other. Something happened to our music. Because if you cannot have music that continues to push positivity, again, we can have grown folk music. But we also have had music that uplift us, and not to the point where it's one or two or three out here. I want to get this new artist, Coco Jones, on this show.
Oh yeah, Coco.
I want to get Jasmine Sullivan on this show.
We'll get them.
Because these are the artists that are continuing to not say that I'm old, but they respect their legacy as well as putting out good music today.
They do. And it's 55 minutes after, 5 minutes till. Brother Fatim, it has been a great week. It has been a wonderful week. It has been a day of celebration, first day of summer. Man, give me some closing words as we get ready to get up out of here. And great guest today. Big ups to him for coming on, for even at such a time as this, to reflect back on those victims of the mass shooting, the racial slaughter of our people in Buffalo. I appreciate that Brother Tally came on and gave us something to uplift our spirits and our souls, to understand that it ain't over. We still got to fight, and we still got to push forward. Brother Fatim, give me some closing words.
Appreciate that, Joe. And again, Marcus Tally. So if you're looking up his book, 514, The Day the Devil Came to Buffalo. His website is agents with an S for advocacy.org, not .com, .org. Okay. June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. That's why we talked about this today. June is also Black Music Month, and we seem to have some fun with that out here. Tomorrow is Joe Dupree Anderson's birthday, and I want to wish my brother a happy birthday. I'm glad I'm able to say it to him, but not about him. That's the important piece. Black Lives Matter, folks. And I preach this to all of us. Black Lives Matter. That means respect. Respect our lives. Respect each other. And make sure that you stand and have other people respect you at the end of the day. When people say all lives matter, yeah, I'm cool with that. But we're not debating it. We're in a country that we are the only people that were put into bondage like that. And until the day, even like Douglas and Eddie say, that we've made strides, and we acknowledge those strides. That's why we uplift our people, that they are doing great things. But until those institutions, those people in power that continues to keep their foot on our necks, we are going to continue to say Black Lives Matter, and we are going to continue to push forward, and we will continue to call you out, but we will also continue to uplift our people as we continue this struggle and this fight for liberation and freedom. Those are my final words. Have a great weekend. And as Sister Jack said, if nobody told you today they love you, Brother Fatim said, I love you.
That's what I'm talking about. So family, yeah, tomorrow's my birthday. If the Lord allows me to see the 22nd day of June, I'm gonna do it shamelessly. Put it out there. You want to show a brother some love? There it is. Show me some love. If not, I just appreciate life. I just, because last Thursday I almost went to the other side to be with my ancestors. And thank God I didn't go. It means I still got work to do. So I dedicate my birthday, this 57th birthday tomorrow, to this woman right here, to the lady in white. That's my mama. That's Earlene Anderson. That's the lady who adopted me and raised me as her own. That's her best friend, Ruth Hart. This is an old Polaroid picture, and every time I hold this picture, I know my mama's close by. I dedicate it to my father, Lois James Anderson, who was born in the 1910s as a sharecropper big, tall brother of very few words, but of great stature. So be better today than you were yesterday. Do something today to be a blessing to someone somewhere, that no matter what you do, there's no earthly way that they can pay you back. And always remember that there is no secret what God can do. What he has done for others, he willingly can do for you. For when God is with you, nothing or no one can stand against you. I'm going to play this song, and I know it's not a celebration, happy birthday song, but it was a song that my mother said, one day, son, you're going to understand why I play this song. And I play this as I go into my birthday, as I go into my 57th year, my 57th rotation around the sun, my day that even if you knew my humble beginnings, I shouldn't have made it out of that first day. But I've seen 57 years, and I pray I see many more. Y'all be blessed. Have a great day. We'll see you back on Monday. We out of here. Peace.
My mother told me before she passed away.
No, you
"Son,
didn't,
when I'm
Joe.
gone,
Happy birthday, my brother.
don't forget to pray, 'cause there'll be hard times. Hard times. Oh, yeah. Who knows better than I? Well, I soon found out just what she meant when I had to pawn my clothes just to pay my rent. Talking about hard times. Hard times. Oh, yeah. Who knows well better than I?
I had a woman, Lord, who was always around. But when I lost my money, she put me down, talking about hard times. You know those hard, yeah, Lord, who knows better than I? Yeah, Lord, yeah. One of these days, there'll be no more sorrow when I pass away, and no more hard times. I say no more hard